So what you got going on, man?
Well, like I said at the top of the show, Tom Cruise is in the news again. I don't know if you've heard.
They want to send him to space.
Yeah, they want to send this son of a gun to space and film a movie on the International Space Station.
Is it that they want to film a movie? Or is it that people are just trying to find an excuse to send him to space? Hey, Tom, I know it would be a great stunt. Go to space.
Get the fuck up to space.
Jerry Bruckheimer was like, fuck it, Tom. Get the fuck up to space. I think what happened was Tom asked a question of Scientology, asked one thing that sounded vaguely critical.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, Tom, why don't you have your next stunt be in space? I think an accident's going to befall the man.
I hope not, but I know some people
either that or he
with
will find Xenu, and it'll be proven that Scientology is the one true religion.
Hey, so something's going to come of this. Something will come.
One or the other.
One or the other. But because Tom Cruise is in the news, and we happen to have a Tom Cruise-related game here on the show, like I said, if you want to hear the first one, go to our YouTube page, Bearded Ones Podcast, and you'll see new Tom Cruise movie stunts game. It's up there, and we had a lot of fun with that one. So let's play it again, and the concept is I present Evan with locations and objectives, and together we're going to figure out what that crazy stunt Tom Cruise has to do.
Yes.
So give me a 1 through 5, 1 through 5.
Let's do 2 and 4.
Okay, well, hey, SpaceX Shuttle. Might as well start with that. That makes sense. And you said 4. Oh, this is way too 2020. So Tom Cruise, in this movie, he has to go up to the space. He's on the SpaceX Shuttle. And on that ride, he has to get the vaccine.
He has to go up on a shuttle to get the vaccine.
Or the shuttle has the vaccine on it, and it's going to be sent up to the moon for fuck all reason. I don't know. And he's got to, this is the only place to get it. He's got to get it. Okay, here it is. He's got to get the vaccine on the shuttle. Then he's got to jump off the shuttle and get back to Earth.
Why would you want to put a vaccine on a shuttle?
Hey, I don't know. I don't make movies.
This'll cure this pandemic. Give it here. What the fuck are you doing, Ethan Hunt?
Yeah. Take it all the way off. Look, there's nothing. We gotta save the people in space first, okay?
I just want everybody to die. I'm sick of my job. He just runs, fucking grabs the vaccine from Ving Rhames, tosses it onto the shuttle that the bad guy's leaving the planet in.
Yeah.
He's like, we're all gonna get the plague. Finally. And it's like, oh, Ethan Hunt took a turn.
He's cray-cray.
He is crazy.
Okay, so
he's tired of running all the time.
So this is the version where somehow he gets turned and now he's the bad guy in this version of the Mission Impossible
Or he's
movie.
faking that he's the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
That would be it. He puts the vaccine in the shuttle just like the bad guy wants, and then when the bad guy gets to space, he opens the vial with the vaccine in it, and it turns out it's Kool-Aid. And then he gets a little call on his phone, and he picks it up, and it's Tom Cruise. And he's going, you curing yourself of this disease is mission impossible.
Yeah.
And then the shuttle blows up.
I love, cause last time you added that Ethan Hunt says all these catchphrases for some reason, all of a sudden.
Yeah, and I don't think they've said Mission Impossible once in any of those movies.
No, not until now.
Not until now. Now he's going to say it every time.
Right. Audiences are going to go crazy.
And I don't know why, if they were going to blow up the shuttle anyway, they still went through the trouble of putting the vaccine on it. They killed the guy either way.
Well, here it is. This is the order of events. The bad guy goes on. And Ethan Hunt, as another bad guy who's turned rogue, he goes on.
Yeah.
And the bad guy has the real vaccine. Ethan Hunt has a fake, what'd you say, Kool-Aid vaccine.
Vaccine,
So he gets on the shuttle, it goes off, it's halfway between here and the moon or whatever, and he's gotta swap them, and he's gotta get out before this shuttle blows up.
Yeah, so he swaps them, but then you don't know he swapped them, and he reveals to the bad guy that he's actually a good guy, and that he didn't turn, and the bad guy shoots him.
When you make movies, sometimes the people are either bad guys or they good guys. All
Pretty
right?
much.
So you want to
And
make sure you settle that real early in the movie, unless
Real
there's
early.
going to be a switch.
Real early. And so, yeah, that's exactly what he says. He doesn't like go into he just goes, you thought I was the bad guy? But I'm a good guy who was pretending to be a bad guy. Bad guy. And the bad guy's like, oh, you're not a bad guy like me. And he pulls out a gun and he shoots Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise falls out of the shuttle.
Right.
And skydives, free falls the rest of the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bad guy's like, oh, I'm so happy to be a bad guy, and I got the vaccine that will cure the disease, and blah, 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 blah. And then he opens it up, and there's not even Kool-Aid in it. You can't see through the glass. It's like one of those vials that's like metal or something.
Yeah.
And there's a little note that pops out. And the note says, die, bad guy. I'm a good guy who pretended to be a bad guy. Takes a while for him to read it.
Yeah, it's a lot to put on such a little note.
Yeah, and then the shuttle explodes, and then Tom Cruise lands.
Well, no. Before he lands, because Tom Cruise, he actually got shot in the side,
Yeah, no, he told him, like, really shoot me.
Yeah, shoot me. And then he's free falling. He pulls the vial out of the bullet wound, because that's where he squirreled it away, And he opens it up, and he releases the vaccine into the atmosphere. And it goes all
that's why he got
around
on the
the
shuttle to
world.
begin with. He knew he would have to get high up to release the vaccine to where it would cure everybody down on the ground.
And that's how vaccines work, right? You breathe them in.
You just open them up in the sky, and then they get into the clouds, and rain cures disease. I don't know why they haven't figured that out with coronavirus yet.
I know. So, how does he land, though? How does he make it down safely, Evan?
He's Tom Cruise.
No, you know what? I mean, that would be the answer normally, but this is the Tom Cruise movie stunt game where we really gotta, nail it down, nitty gritty.
Okay, so also in his other side, he pulls a gun from his pocket and shoots his other side, because in his other side is a parachute.
They implanted in him.
Parachute. Yeah, he's like, you gotta shoot you. If the bad guy doesn't shoot you in both sides, then here's a little bitty gun, so you could shoot yourself and pull the parachute out. So he really does all this. Like, Tom Cruise really stuffed a parachute into his ribs.
Yeah.
And he was just like, yeah, fuck this. I'm Tom Cruise. And he shot himself, and he pulls out the parachute and floats all the way down to the ground. And then at the last second, when everyone comes around him and goes, we thought you was the bad guy. That used to be a good guy, but now you're a good guy again. And he's like, yeah. He turns to the camera and goes, I am the good guy. Bump, 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 bump.
Me actually being the bad guy for real is mission impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. I like it. Okay, let's do it again.
1 and 1.
1 and 1. Okay, we got Big Ben. And he's got to get those secret files.
All right. So, Big Ben is not the clock.
Yes, it is.
Big Ben, it has to be the clock?
Oh, isn't it? I thought it was the clock.
No, I mean, I was just thinking, what else could Big Ben be if not the clock? But, okay, fine. He's fighting somebody on top of the Big Ben clock. And what is it? He's getting files?
He's got to get those secret files.
Okay. And so, God. He starts doing like a Buster Keaton on the hands of the clock of Big Ben.
I don't think that's Buster Keaton, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, it wasn't Buster Keaton. Well, it was Buster Keaton, wasn't it?
No, it was Harold Lloyd.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, he's doing a Harold Lloyd. He's doing a Harold Lloyd / a Great Mouse Detective / Clock Man from Batman. And he and the bad guy are duking it out on the hands of the clock, and they're going around, and like, he's on the minute hand and the bad guy's on the hour hand, and they gotta wait until they both come around, punch each other once, and then they gotta hang on.
Wait.
It comes around all the way again.
Hold on. So they gotta wait until the hands meet.
Yeah. Okay. They punch each other, and then they gotta wait till they get all the way back around. It's a long movie.
So half the movie, I guess, 11/12 of the movie is them just waiting.
Plot very quickly.
Yeah.
Like, in the first 2 seconds of the movie, you're like, oh, look, that guy's got these secret files. Go get him, Tom Cruise. And the guy goes up into Big Ben. And so the rest of the movie is just them hanging by the hands of the clock, punching each other every time they come around.
Right.
And they can only punch each other once.
Wait, no, they can get a couple more punches in, right? Because it takes...
Yeah, no, you're right. The hands will be close together for a little while.
Yeah, so they got 5 minutes of punches, and then 55 minutes of like, ooh, I'll get you.
Yeah, they're just looking at each other.
Ooh. Just
Tom
you wait.
Cruise like, ooh, you're a bad guy.
Okay, hold on. So, the big through line of the first time we played this game is that Tom Cruise killed a lot of kids.
Yeah, so he loved killing children.
Is the through line this time just he's very blatant on who he is, and he's...
Yeah, he's getting older. And it's tough for him to remember names of characters and stuff, so he always comes into the writer's room. He's like, hey, great work, guys. I don't know about all these names, though. Can't I just say, like, oh, you're a bad guy?
Yeah, I can't.
You're Tom Cruise, I guess so.
I can't
These
pronounce
movies have
Nikolai.
not lost money yet.
I can't pronounce Nikolai. Make him say bad guy.
Yeah, just say bad guy.
He's a bad
guy. He
guy.
can call me good guy. So then, he doesn't have to memorize my name. I don't have to memorize his. It's a win-win.
I can't
and
pronounce
the audience
Thomas.
knows exactly who the bad guy is.
Yeah. He the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, and eventually, Tom Cruise, punches the guy off the clock, and then he grabs the secret files out of the guy's hand, and then he has to climb down without a net or a parachute or nothing, cause he's Tom Cruise.
Okay, so the whole time, now just to get the picture right in my head, is he holding got his hands around the clock, arm?
He's got one hand on the tip of the hand, 'cause they get pointy at the tip.
They do get pointy, you're right.
And he's got the files in the other. And now he's got to get back down Big Ben.
So he doesn't, even though he has the opportunity to sit, at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, he could sit.
Yes, he could, but he's Tom Cruise.
Okay.
He's like, I'm not gonna sit. I'm gonna jump off Big Ben.
Okay, so, now are the files just in the guy's hands the whole time? This
Yeah, because he stole them and he ran up Big Ben. He didn't have anywhere to put them yet.
He's got all day to figure this out. 55 minutes to figure out where to put it.
Yeah, but I mean, Tom Cruise, they're just hanging on a clock. Tom Cruise can see him.
Oh, he'll see. He's like,
does he put him in his jacket?
He's like, oh, I know. Now I know.
I know where you put those, bad guy.
No, good guy.
No, you don't, good guy.
You're right.
In fact, they change all the Mission Impossible movies to good guy, bad guy.
Yeah.
It's good guy, bad guy 1, good guy, bad guy 2.
Okay.
And, so he killed the bad guy, he got the files, and now he's hanging. And when that minute hand, or whichever one he's hanging around, comes down to 6, he really can't hold on much any longer, because his arm is very tired.
Oh yeah.
So that's when, he just falls off the clock. And
what's Tom Cruise say? He's got a quip.
Yeah, no, he goes, well, my work is done. I guess I'm off the clock, and falls right off of it.
Oh, wait. His whole thing, though, is blah, 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 is Mission Impossible.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he's hanging on the clock, and he's like, that bad guy ever telling time again is Mission Impossible.
There you go.
And then he goes, I'm off the clock.
He points, and then I'm off the clock. And he just kind of jumps, and he reveals that he's wearing one of those squirrel suits.
Yes.
Yeah. And kind of coasts down with the plans in his mouth. And, and then releases them into the atmosphere, and they go to where they gotta go.
Yeah. And they go to where they're supposed to go. Yeah, that's how files work. You put them in the clouds, and then the clouds send all the information to the people that need it.
And it rains. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got it. All right, let's do it one more time. 3 through 5, or 2, 3, 5.
Let's do 3 and 2.
Okay, we're gonna go with the Grand Canyon, and he's got to save his fuck buddy.
Oh. Tom Cruise's fuck buddy or his character's fuck buddy? Because I think those are two completely different things.
Good point. Ethan Hunt's.
Okay. The
buddy.
through line in those movies is that he does have a wife that he really can't stay with anymore because it's just too dangerous for her, but they still love each other. I think after the third one or the fourth one, I actually just saw the most recent one recently, and that was a big through line in that movie, is that she's had to move on and go into hiding because, and they run into each other and they're still so in love, but they can't stay together. And they kind of have to go their separate ways.
But they still like each other?
Well, they love each other. They're not just, hey, buddy.
They're still like,
hey, pal.
They're still like, friends who hang out. Okay.
Yeah, no, totally.
Cool.
I mean, in real life, that's probably what she would be to him, but.
So
they did introduce a woman in the last one who could easily be his fuck buddy. Well, it doesn't matter who the fuck buddy is. He's got to have a different romantic interest every movie anyway, because it's Tom Cruise.
This is MI-10 or whatever.
Yeah. So they're in the Grand Canyon. He's got to save his fuck buddy.
Now you have a couple options here. Grand Canyon is very tall,
Yeah.
You know this is really tall and deep. So I'm just thinking you could drop really far. It also has a big, the Colorado River runs through it. So
I kind of feel like we've done the dropping thing enough.
Yeah, let's get away from that.
I think what needs to happen is a rock slide.
Ooh, okay.
They're like, some boulders shook loose, Tom Cruise, and your fuck buddies, in the river, and the rocks are falling towards her. Yeah, and the rocks are falling towards her, so you gotta save her before the rocks hit her. So Tom Cruise comes up with the idea that he should just jump from rock to rock and actually beat the rock slide to his girlfriend.
Okay.
And save her right before the rocks hit the water.
Okay.
So he's actually defying physics, but he can do that because he's Tom Cruise.
Yeah. And the extra features show him training the specific stunt of him. He starts
he's just
running
having people throw rocks at him and trying to jump on him and jump to other rocks.
Yeah. He starts, running on like stones, and then he gets bigger and bigger, bricks, cinder blocks, and he starts getting bigger and bigger.
He gets a bunch of huge rocks and has the studio pay for a giant net suspended like 20 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And then 30 feet and then 40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And they fill the net with the stones, and he stands on the top of the stones, and he goes, all right, release the net. And as the rocks fall, he's trying to jump from rock to rock to see if he can do it. And at first everyone's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's not even humanly possible. And then by like the fifth time, he's doing it. And they're like, fuck.
He's doing it.
Maybe there is something to Xenu.
There is. Now, I don't know if you caught earlier, I said she's tied to some train tracks. I'm gonna either...
In the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
So as he's coming down the rocks, he goes, bad guy built a train in Grand Canyon. And so he jumps off the rocks. Train. Yeah, bad guy train. And he jumps off the rocks, and he stops the train with his hand.
Well, how?
Like Superman.
No.
Because he's Tom Cruise.
No, I don't know. I gotta draw the line somewhere. He can't stop a train like Captain Marvel or something, or the Hulk. He's still a man. He still has to use his mind and he can use his physicality to a limit.
Okay, so at the last second, he throws a rock in front of the train, and he kicks the last rock that he's jumping on in front of the train, right in front of the train wheel. Train hits it, spins off, and at the last second, it goes into a canyon within the Grand Canyon and explodes. But right before it explodes, you see that it's full of children. Tom Cruise looks at the camera and goes, all of those kids going to college is mission impossible.
Yeah, and he goes, 2 for 1.
Yeah. I got a bad guy. I killed kids. Because the bad guy's driving the train.
Yeah. You got the bad guy. He saved the good girl. He's like, I got the good girl. I killed the bad guy.
I killed the bad guy. And I killed children.
I killed the bad kids.
Dun, 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 dun. That's his literal last line of the movie.
Yeah.
I got the good girl, I killed the bad guy, and I killed the kids.
And he just looks at the camera and like finger guns. And then,
pew pew!
And all the flashy end credits go, and people are just like walking out of the movie theater going like, okay.
Going, why do we still come and see these movies?
Yeah,
they're still all so successful.
Yeah, and you watch the credits and it's like Tom Cruise, the girl, the bad guy, and then later on you go and it says, in memoriam of the school bus full of kids that actually died.
Yeah, it's like, are we just supporting mass genocide of children at this point? Just for a movie? Which these days really wouldn't shock me, because people are willing to go insane if they can't have their modern conveniences. Be like, fuck you, I'll go see a movie. I don't care if kids are killed. It's my freedom.
My freedom. Yeah. But that is the Tom Cruise movie stunt game, round 2.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for checking it out.